Well, the time has come to harvest some of our sunflowers. And what do you do? What do you do when you have something coming along? Could be birds, it could be the mice that are coming along, they're climbing up your sunflowers, and as they do, you're seeing the little remnants afterward, and they're eating your sunflowers. Now, this is a common problem because you want to eat them and so do the little critters. Maybe you've heard the old nursery rhyme talking about gardening or planting seeds. One for the rabbit, one for the mouse, one for the deer, and one for the house, or something like that. Meaning, historically, before you would have things like fences all over the place, you had to plant enough for what? For the animals and you. And so they're eating them now, they're doing this. Well, basically, there's one thing you could do. You could put a net over it, and that will keep them back. Another thing you could do is you could put some traps to try to trap the mice. But if it's birds, the net might work better. But ultimately, as they're getting to this point, and mine are starting to get eaten a little bit, not too bad yet, but they are starting to get eaten by some of the critters. What you can do is you can actually cut them and bring them into your house and let them dry in the basement or in your storage shed or whatever you have. And so I'm going to get to that right now. We're going to cut back some of the leaves. Right here we'll cut back you can end up chopping, and if you can compost the actual stalk when you're done with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm cutting back so that we don't really have anything in the way now. And what we'll do is I want to be able to have a long enough portion of the stem so that I can tie a couple of them together and put those, we're going to hang them in the basement from the rafters in the basement. And so you can find, for me, this is probably, actually I'll go even a little further. You can always cut back more if it's too long, meaning it'd be better to be too long than too short if you're looking to hang them. So I'm gonna cut it back to right here, and ultimately, there we go. So there is decent size sunflower here. You get an idea there, good size sunflower. This one has not been eaten at all. Basically, it may look like it is here. Now, how do you know if they're actually ready? Well, when they're hanging over like this, and right now, I think they're called maybe pseudopetals. They're not actual petals of the flower, but they look like them. These are totally dry, they're crusty. You can get a little idea of what that might sound like there. And this area here has not actually been eaten, but once you have these crusty petals like that, it's basically ready to go, and typically it's hanging over by that point, especially if you have a good sized head, it gets pretty heavy, and then you can get rid of these for the reason being, it's not necessarily going to hurt anything, although having them all over my basement or your shed or whatever, it's nicer to just get rid of them. Plus you're probably getting rid of some of the bugs in the process. Now what I'm going to do is, once I have this done, I am going to get at least one more. I think I only have one more that's ready presently. I have more that are coming at this point, but beautiful seed head there. I'm so happy. It's just exciting to be able to begin the process of harvesting your sunflowers, and this is the first one that I'll be doing here, and like I said, there's more to come, but what a blessing it is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one more, then after that we're gonna tie them together like this, and we'll put some twine or some string to hold them together, and then we will hang them for the rafters, and probably a month or so, 2 weeks to a month, hang them up and let them get totally dried out so that they'll be good for storage for months and months to come, and ready for winter storage. Now, if you like this video, subscribe and hit the like button, and that'll help us out. We'll see you next time on the next video.